keeping a close eye on
And it
sort of
keeps
the
changing
tropics.
too. It really does keep changing, so you really have to pay attention to what's going on, because now we're looking at an 80% chance for this system to develop, and this is the one that's going to be bringing us a lot more rain over the next couple of days. And there are 3 systems now out in the Atlantic that we're going to be talking about, but the one that is closest to Florida is the one that has our attention. And we've got a likelihood of a tropical depression resulting, and this is this disorganized system that's been a tropical wave, and we also are going to be seeing, as a result of it getting better organized and moving across the southern part of the state and into the Gulf of Mexico, heavy rains over South Florida and the Keys. And now we have tropical storm watches that are in effect across parts of the central Gulf Coast area and also down around the southwestern part of our state. So that's what we're looking at right now. That has all just happened since 5 o'clock tonight. And so here's the system right here. It's still around the Bahamas, and it is likely to move into the Gulf of Mexico probably on Monday and Tuesday. That's when we're going to be seeing it. And here are the watches and warnings that have been put into effect. Tropical storm watches now in effect from around the panhandle of Florida westward, and now around the Fort Myers area we're also seeing tropical storm watches that have been put into effect. So these are the areas of concern, with an 80% likelihood that this is going to become a tropical depression over the next couple of days, and a 90% chance in the next 5 days. So this is what we're looking at as this system, which is right here just to the south of the Bahamas, continues to move towards the west-northwest. We're likely to see it moving into the Gulf of Mexico, where it is very likely going to become a tropical depression and then possibly a tropical storm as well. The good news for us is that it is going to be moving away from the state of Florida, and now all of the models are showing that it's moving into the Gulf and up towards the New Orleans area. They already have flooding that's taking place there, so they certainly don't need any of this wet weather, but it does appear as though most of the models now showing that it is going to be moving into the central Gulf of Mexico and then over into the northern Gulf Coast area. In the meantime, we also have Florence, and Florence is not posing a problem to any landmass areas. The good news with Florence, 50-mile-per-hour winds becoming 65-mile-per-hour winds, and once it moves into the central Atlantic, it looks as though it's going to be taking more of a northerly course and not affect anybody and die down all the more. In the meantime, we've been getting copious amounts of rainfall. It's been coming in occasionally across our area, with some heavier thunderstorms earlier this afternoon having moved out into the Gulf of Mexico. And right now we're left with mostly cloudy conditions across the region, and just a couple of showers located well east that may develop and move on towards the west. So that's a likelihood that we could see. For the next couple of hours, we've got about a 50% chance of rain in the forecast until about 8 o'clock tonight. And as you can see, that most of those showers are dying down as they continue to move off towards the west, and then we're going to be left with partly cloudy skies for the overnight time period. Over the next several hours, we've got a 40% chance of rain until 8 o'clock, and then we're going to see those rain chances stepping down throughout the overnight time. And we're looking at temperatures that are starting to warm up just a little bit, because we had everyone in the 70s, but because of the rains, and now because we're starting to get some gaps in the rains, we're seeing things warming up for some locations. Today, we got up to a high of 91 with an overnight low of 75 degrees, and for the next couple of days, we're going to continue to see this slog of rain. It's going to be with us. As you can see, we've got for our Labor Day a 70% chance of rain in the forecast, a 60% chance on Tuesday, and we're going to keep those temperatures right around 90 degrees. So keep in mind, tomorrow is going to be a wet and rainy day for us, but it's going to be much worse to the south of us tomorrow.